mind over mind.
Okay, this is just something new I'm trying out, where I'm gonna listen to Alan Watts's talk, so you guys can listen to it too. This one's called Why the Urge to Improve Yourself. I'm just gonna draw at the same time, and if he says things that I want to comment on, I will, because I like to be engaged with the talk, and that's what we're gonna do.
And I'm going into all the various problems which have to do with the control of the mind. And so I might introduce what I'm going to say by saying it from different points of view.
Hopefully you can
For example, if you're interested in communications, it will be the problem of feedback. Or if I may put it in theological terms, how does man follow the will of God if the will of man is perverse? The theologians say, you cannot do this without having divine grace, or the power to follow the will of God. How then do you get grace? Why is grace given to some and not to others?
Touché.
If I cannot follow the will of God by my own effort because my will is selfish, how will my will, which is selfish, be transformed into an unselfish will? If I cannot do it because I am already the selfish will, then grace must do it. If grace has not already done it, why not? Because I didn't accept it? But by definition, I had no power to accept it because my will was selfish. Must I then become a Calvinist and say that only those people who are predestined to receive grace will be able to live the good life? Then we come back to the inadmissible position that people who live evil lives and do not get grace because they are not predestined to it out of the infinite wisdom of the Godhead, then God himself must be held responsible for their evil deeds.
I think this is when he
And
says,
so
we're all
that
God.
is a nice little tangle.
I think.
If I put this in the language of Oriental philosophy and religion, it would be something like this. The Buddha said that wisdom must come only from the abandonment of selfish craving or desire. One who abandons that desire attains nirvana, which is supreme peace, liberation.
Okay, that makes total sense to me. Is comfort a craving? And also, craving, man, such a good question. I think that the things I'm most addicted to are my ego, my sense of self, my thoughts, and then everything else. But I'm so scared to like lose that. But I can see it as a thing.
Nirvana means in Sanskrit, blow out. That is, exhale the breath. The opposite, desire, is to breathe in. Now, if you breathe in and hold it,
cigarette,
you lose your breath. But if you breathe out, it comes back to you. So the principle here is, if you want life, don't cling to it. Let go.
fuck.
But the problem is, if I desire not to desire, is that not already desire? How can I desire not to desire?
That is a problem.
How can I surrender myself when myself is precisely an urge to hold on, to cling to life, to continue to survive? I can see rationally that by clinging to myself, I may strangle myself. I may be like a person who has a bad habit, as a result of which he is committing suicide. And he knows that, but can't give it up. Because the means of death are so sweet.
What?
So
Has a
it
bad
all comes...
habit, so he commits suicide because the means of death are so sweet. If anyone gets that, let me know what he's on about, because not clear. We'll do 10 minutes. It's quite addictive.
Comes down to this basic question that human beings have for a long, long time been concerned about transforming their minds. Is there any way in which one's mind can be transformed? Or is it simply a process which is nothing more than a vicious circle? I could ask, why have you come here this afternoon? What were you looking for?
To get rid of my ego.
Would it be too presumptuous of me to say that you were looking for help?
Oh, yeah, same.
That you hoped you would hear somebody who had something to say that would be of help and relevance to you as members of a world which is running into the most intense difficulty. A world beset by a complex of problems, any one of which would be bad enough. But when you add together all the great political, social, and ecological problems with which we are faced, they are appalling. And one naturally says,
I have an idea.
the reason why we are in such a mess is not simply that we have wrong systems for doing things, whether they be technological, political, or religious, but we have the wrong people. The systems may be all right, but they are in the wrong hands because we are all, in various ways, self-seeking, lacking in wisdom, lacking in courage, afraid of death, afraid of pain, unwilling really to cooperate with others.
Wait. Self-seeking, afraid of death, afraid of pain, unwilling to cooperate with others. This is so true. And this is what I'm saying is we're all like this. We're all like this. I'm just being honest about it, and I'm also probably just more extreme. Like, I feel like I'm tapping into it on a more extreme level in a way of like the way it's pervading my mind, but damn it, it's being a fucking human. We're all fucked, but also amazing.
This is
That's something else. We'll come back to that later.
unwilling to be open to others. And we all think that's too bad. It's me that's wrong. And if only I could be the right person. Is this man going to tell me something that will help me to change myself so that I will be a more creative and cooperative member of the human race? I would like to improve. So in so many people's minds and from so many different angles, there is this urgent feeling that I must improve me. And this is critically important because it's obvious that, at least it's superficially obvious, that the way things are, we are going to hell fast. Now, in this question, can I improve me?
So we're going tits up. I'm going to try again, but this is just a taste of a way to kind of learn.